This is the Canton police officer in the Karen Reed case when her father called and said he was worried about her, that she was in great distress and may be suicidal. So this officer says, I'm going to section her so we know where she is. Now, the interesting thing about that comment is that's not something you say when you're concerned about somebody that might be suicidal. So we know where she is. So we know where she is. And see, there's footprints at her car. See, at this point, she had left her house, John's house, at around 5. And when she came here and they found the body, she didn't go back to John's house. She went to the hospital. She didn't come back to the hospital till about noon. Back to John's house till about noon. She'd get out of the hospital, till later that morning. And so from 5 o'clock in the morning, after she left with Jen to go look for him, there was no footprints in the back of her car by her taillight. So at 7 a.m., when there was one of the friends comes to check on the kids, to pick up the kids from John's house, there's footprints clearly seen in the video in the driveway at her car taillight, led down the driveway. And then around 8:30, when the cops came there to do their pretend welfare check, so they can get on the video that her taillight was missing in her driveway. That's what they presented at the trial. See, they knew that they were going to frame her, and they had to go get those pieces of that taillight from her car in her driveway. So they didn't section her because they cared about her. They sectioned her so we know where she is. And they can go and get her taillight and remove those ring light, the video footage, because they had possession of John's phone, and to get access to his app and delete whatever videos to see who made those footprints, because it darn sure wasn't Karen. She couldn't, it's not possible. She was at the hospital. This is so telling, so we know where she is. She'll be in the hospital while we go over there and get those pieces out and break that taillight, because it was only cracked. It was only minimally damaged. It shows her video when she was leaving to go look for John. She backed into his car, and you could see the tire moving on the car, and it very easily caused that damage at that time. And she didn't know that that's how her car taillight had got cracked. And so these people are like, well, no, he never made it in the house. Trying to trick her into thinking that she had done something. So that was their cue. Oh, well, she said she's got a cracked taillight. That's what we're going to do. But this cop who says this, why would a cop say, let's section her because she might harm herself? Let's section her because somebody's worried about her. Let's section her because she might be suicidal. No, he wants to section her so we know where she is. Because it was at that time she was sectioned at the hospital that somebody made those footprints behind her car that was not, it shows in the video when she left, there wasn't even enough snow on the ground at the time she left to make footprints behind her car tail light. And then when you see the video of the friend showing up at the house, after he was, pronounced dead at around 7-ish a.m., there's clearly fresh footprints of the snow that had fallen at the taillight of her car, because somebody went there and busted pieces out of that taillight. And later at 8:30, when those cops came by, like they didn't know that the kids were already picked up, please. But they made this big show about going to the house to do a welfare check to see if anybody was there, any of the kids were there. Okay, nobody asked them to do that, but the purpose of it was for them to have their dash cam on, and then you could see in the driveway her taillight was missing. But the videos where she left earlier, that's not what it looked like. Her taillight was not missing like that. And the people that testified, it wasn't missing like that. Okay? So we know where she is. That is not an appropriate comment for somebody to be concerned and want to section somebody. So we know where she is.